So joining us today, Brad Sherman, thank you so much.
My pleasure to be with you, John.
I understand a couple months ago you announced, and I could be off on the date, that you were running for governor.
Yes, we made that announcement back in the middle of February. What brought me into the game wasn't because we thought Governor Reynolds would or wouldn't run. That had nothing to do with our decision. I was in the State House, and we probably would have run for the State House again, except for the fact that we had a daughter that passed away. She was 41 and had 4 children, and so we made plans to move to be closer to those grandchildren.
Yeah.
And so I decided not to run again for House. And so that's a long story. I don't want to belabor that. But when I started telling people that I wasn't running again, that's when people started saying, well, you should run for governor. And I didn't take it too seriously at first. But then as we prayed about it, and we put a lot of trust in prayer and seek the Lord for our answers. I've been a pastor for 44 years here in Iowa. We prayed about this, and God began confirming it in so many different ways. And, everyone hears God differently. We don't hear voices, but we, audible voices or anything like that. But we get a pretty good sense of when God's speaking to us. And he's made this so clear to us that I've never been more confident about anything else, as far as hearing God, that this is what we're supposed to do. So we've known this for over a year, yep. That this is what we're going to do. So, yeah, we've known for a while, ever since I moved to Iowa and, we started our ministry at the University of Iowa. We saw Marxism, socialism. We saw the war against Christianity firsthand, and it was a battle going on. And so,
could you put a time frame on that a little bit? You said you started at the University of Iowa, and you're talking about things that many people start going, oh, this is just starting to happen. And yet you just said you saw it then.
Yeah, that was 1981.
1981.
And so that's when I really got serious about trying to restore foundational principles of our freedom. The biblical foundations of our nation, the Christian foundations of our nation, which are right there for anybody who wants to study these things. They're undeniable. And so we started doing seminars. I started doing seminars back when I was using flip charts. We didn't have a computer or a laptop or a projector back then. Then we transferred over to PowerPoints and laptops eventually, and we've been all over the Midwest actually doing seminars like that.
Yep.
I guess if you ever heard David Barton, he's famous for his PowerPoint presentations, and so sort of that he was kind of an inspiration for that, and so I started doing that sort of thing with my own twist to it, and doing research and studying, for what the founders believe, and
yep,
so
sure.
So that's been on my heart to do that sort of thing for a long time.